The first day of school. Today is going to be a great day. Hey, what's up? The first day of school can mean a lot of things for a lot of people. For some, it's time to lock in, get good grades, get into a good college. For others, it's time to build the disparity of who goes to college and who doesn't. You know what I mean? Well, what I'm getting at is that people forget job openings at McDonald's are created by the minute. But how should you feel about the first day of school? Do you hate it? Do you despise it? Or do you think it's okay? You'd imagine there's a relative sort of consistency in how everyone feels about it, right? Like, even what you see online, there's kind of a mental thought that's like, how does everyone else make this look so easy? They don't, by the way. A little spoiler. But before I answer any of those questions, let me ask you a question. Hey, is there a right way to feel about anything? Yeah. I know it sounds like a stupid question. Oh, something good happens to you, you're happy. If something bad happens to you, you're sad. But it's a little more complicated than that. Let me give you an example. Somebody you know dies. It's tragic, right? It's sad. But what if I told you your relationship with this person is that they killed your mom or something? Because then you're pulling up to the funeral. I don't think there's a proper or at least objective way to feel about anything. I think context is what allows you to create a headspace and realize how something actually makes you feel. Oh, you don't believe me about that context thing? I got you. First day of school, pre-K. Now, when you're young, there's only one real group of people that you trust, and that's your family, because that's who you spent your entire existence up to that point around. So most kids aren't comfortable at all outside of that. Me especially, because even as a baby, I wasn't letting no stranger get their grubby little hands on me. So when I was told that I'm going to have to go into a place where my family isn't, and I'm going to meet a whole bunch of people I don't know and have to interact with them for 8 hours, I was a little... Is upset the right word? I'm trying to remember. No, I was furious. So, when I get dropped off on the first day, I'm sitting there hugging my mom's, leg. Like my life depended on it. Don't leave me here. Don't leave me here, please. Eventually, she got free, though. Now, here's the thing. Babies aren't very articulate. They're not the best at saying what's on their mind. I was walking down that pre-K and I wasn't the only one. You could tell every kid in that room that went through the same thing as me, because they were all looking back at me like this too. Strangely enough for me as a kid though, some people were fine with it. They didn't complain, they didn't mean mug me, they looked at me with a smile and a wave. Ew. I'm joking, but eventually those people kind of rubbed off on me. One of the kids came up to me and were like, go, I got Pokemon. And then I was sold. And soon all the mean muggers followed suit. It really wasn't as bad as I made it out to be originally. Pix, what does that have to do with anything you were saying? Well, you see, I was trying to bring up the concept of context leading to anticipation and expectation, but some people... Anticipation is the reason why you think things are going to go awfully. Anticipation can be good and bad in some situations, but let's go over the bad for now. Think of a roller coaster, right? There's a reason why there's not an elevator that goes up to the top and then just lets you drop off. The reason why is they want to build fear, they want to build that anticipation. As you're going up, you're sitting there thinking, oh, this is going to be the worst thing ever and I'm going to die, I never noticed it before, but from afar, roller coasters look really goofy. When the actual drop comes, it's usually really not that bad. Like most people, they're just chilling, relaxing. Some though, and that's the magic of anticipation. People going through the same thing can have wildly different experiences just because of how they think it's gonna play out. Nothing is more terrifying than your imagination. Sometimes it's hard to actually cling to what is. Let's flip the script. Let's go back to the funeral example. Now imagine everybody else at that funeral who didn't quite have the same experience with that guy that you did. They'd probably be pretty confused about why you're on his grave, which would lead to their expectations being broken. Expectations being broken is a very important thing, because that leads to people asking questions and finding out reality. And the reality of the situation is that guy's he's not really a good person. So now that we have all of that under, guys, let me tell you one more story. First day of school, 9th grade. So I was coming out of quarantine in this time, and it was weird, you know. Everyone kind of got used to the socially awkward meta, where we would just act and move different, and it would just be okay because, you know, we have to stay inside. However, me and my colossal, expanding brain thought that going to a school with a much different reputation, because I was an introvert and I was friends with a lot of introverts, I thought that everybody else was going to be the same as me and I would just fit in perfectly and I would rise to the top and rule the school. It never works out that way. To keep a long story very short, I had a lot of lunches by myself. And I was confused, like I was doing everything in the Cliff Notes. I wrote it down. I pretty much perfected it. Is the socially awkward meta dead? It was. Kind of. Eventually, I found somebody that fit that description, that I fit in with because of those traits. But by then, I already kind of learned a very important lesson, and that's that you can't just assume people will like you, one. And two, you have to be able to accept and try to understand people that don't act like you. Everything that built up in the context surrounding it led up to that anticipation. And then, eventually, leads to reality, and that's how it always ends. You find out the actual truth of it all. Like, look, what I'm getting at is, just like everything, the first day of school is inevitable. So now there's two ways you could think about it. You could be sad about it and have that expectation be broken one way or another, or maybe even fulfilled. Or you could look at everything with a smile, you know? Say it's gonna be the best day of your life. Because in the end of the day, it's all the same, so why not just embrace reality with some teeth? Anyways, I think you're gonna need this. Straighten up, soldier. Have a good day.